Time now for our political insiders. We have Tony May and filling in for Charlie Giroux, Mr. Kevin Harley. Thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
All right, let's start with voter ID. It came back into the news yesterday when the Commonwealth Court said it would not reconsider the decision to stop implementation of the use of photo IDs. So, Kevin, let's start with you on the Republican side here. Where does this leave us now?
Well, I don't think there was any surprise at all that the Commonwealth Court today came out with the ruling that they did. The Corbett administration now has 30 days to appeal that to the Supreme Court, which everybody knew that this was going to end up in the Supreme Court. I think that they are going to appeal it, and we'll see what happens. The one thing to remember is that regardless of what happens in the court, nothing will happen in the 2014 election with voter ID.
Tony, is this something we're going to see quite often?
I think this is, you know, one of the traits that the governor has, which he doesn't give up, and he certainly is going to appeal it to the Supreme Court. And I think the verdict's still out, certainly on what the court will actually rule in the final analysis.
All right, let's talk about the Philly Four. That's back in the news again. Our Attorney General, Kathleen Kane, said that the case was bungled. She didn't want to take it up. She dropped it. The Philadelphia DA, Seth Williams here, sorry, I got to read off my computer, challenged her saying he could take the case, and then she withheld the stuff, and then
she said he may have a conflict of interest, and apparently she decided that the conflict is not too burdensome, so she says she will now give him the case files so he can take up the case.
So now he could take it up?
Yes.
But she
didn't want to.
Right.
Right.
Well,
so there's been a lot of this.
I know, Kevin, you have something to say on this.
This is just amazing. I worked for 4 different attorney generals. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, her competency has certainly been called into question. She killed the Sting investigation, then challenges the district attorney to take it. He says, I'll take it, and she says, oh, no, no, no. Goes back and forth. She's not going to give it to him. So one of two things are going to happen. He's either going to prosecute people, which may be a very good thing in this case, or if he can't go forward with the prosecution, in all likelihood, it's because of the comments that she has made about the investigation. So she's in between a rock and a hard place.
So it's bungled possibly because of her own right, in your opinion?
Certainly.
All right.
All right, well, finally, Senator Dave Argall says that the Senate is finally close enough to having enough votes to get rid of the school property tax.
Yes, and this
surprise you?
No, it doesn't surprise me, but it becomes a very interesting case because as we creep closer and closer to a vote, the sides may switch on us. If the state votes the Argall bill, the way it is now, the Argall-Utachak bill, it will be saying, in effect, that the state will be taking over a lot of the responsibility currently undertaken by local taxation, which will be an acknowledgement of the state's role in basic education, which I think will cause some conservatives to have second thoughts, because it means that the cost of education, which is bound to increase, will more and more have to come from the state.
Kevin, we'll give you the final thought on this. Will his plan fly?
I think it's a great start, but the real question here, Tony, is the underlying costs that are driving the cost of education, and that's the pension crisis, that's unfunded mandates, prevailing wage.
And the warning from Standard & Poor's today about just those things financially for our
Give you one.
All right, guys.
Point 1, we can agree on. Point 2 and 3, I don't understand.
Okay.
Okay, we'll
you guys
leave it at that.
Confer after this, because we've got to get out of here and take a break.
Thank you, Tony May. Kevin Harley, thank you so much for being here. And you can see our political insiders every Tuesday right here on CBS 21 News at 5.